Firstly, let's just talk about the capacity that you have to meet current demand. When it comes to the airports that are currently under management, you've got 8 airports, of course, key ones being in Windhoek right now. Do you have a problem when it comes to under capacity when you're seeing a lot more business activity in Namibia?
Well, our airport plan envisages is a major growth in Namibia, and we are actually currently taking studies to expand our airports. We are currently building a new terminal building in Walvis Bay for 67 million rand, and another one in Ondangwa for 58 million rand, which are currently underway as we speak.
This Walvis Bay one is quite interesting because that, in effect, is one that you're looking to gear towards the cargo business, gear more towards carrying goods. Is there that kind of demand at this point in time, especially given the fact that we don't have an airport along the West African coast that is geared towards that?
Yes, that is one of the key areas that we are looking at. In point of fact, we have a study coming up shortly to make Walvis Bay a cargo hub, hopefully for the Americas. As soon as the business plan is in place, then we plan to go into the feasibility studies to develop it into a cargo hub.
When it comes to funding, I mean, who do you get your majority of funding from? Are you looking to get outside funding for building these new airports and upgrading the airports, or is it majority internally funded?
Well, what we have here, as you know, Namibia is a vibrant economy. We have a government that is very keen to develop its infrastructure, particularly in aviation. So what they're doing is we're looking into is a guarantee of funding, and then we shall source the funds privately within the Namibian market. And if necessary, we may have to go outside. But I think from what we have been told, the funds are sufficient within the country for our developments.
Let's talk about the shortage of pilots that we have in Africa and whether it affects Namibia, because you have a program in place where you offer, or the government offers, scholarships to train 10 pilots a year. Is this adequate to meet the demand that you have domestically, and are there jobs for these pilots?
Well, it may not be enough if you look at it as 10 pilots a year. It can actually go up to 20 and does sometimes. But keep in mind there is a lot of people who can actually fund their own children and young people privately. The Namibia Aviation Training Academy, which gets a lot of its funding from the government, is for families and students and talented and gifted people who do not have the means by which to get this pilot training. So on top of the 10 or 20 that are sponsored by our government, we do have actually quite a number who privately sponsor themselves. So I think there is adequate market, and yes, there are jobs. Air Namibia absorbs a few. I don't have the statistics, and we have a vibrant aviation industry, air operators here, who take up quite a number. And yes, to answer your question, we have more than enough capacity here to train and employ our Namibian pilots.
Mwangi, thank you so much for joining us today. Good to have you on the show.